On today's episode, which is our last episode of 2025, we discuss a little wrap up of 2025 and all the crypto movements and changes that have happened this year. In our news segments, we talk a bit about the ETF inflows and AI startups buying each other and the difference between gold, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and much more. And finally, we wrap up our trading competition, and spoiler alert, we all know who won. Hey everyone, and welcome to the NFA podcast, your weekly podcast where we bring you all the news and market insight of emerging technologies, including AI, crypto, blockchain, and some other really cool stuff. We're your hosts, Michiel Frackers and Nisheta Sachdev, and that's what NFA stands for. It's Nish, Frackers, and anyone else listening. It also stands for not financial advice because we clearly do not give financial advice. But we give you all the information that you might need to make your own financial decisions or that you should already know. So excited to have you here on our last episode of 2025.
We'll give you all the information about things you already know. That's a great line. We got to keep that in. We want to not make it too long, but we want to quickly look back at the year, discuss some news, the biggest news stories that we think are still going on right now, and then look ahead and make predictions. And then next year, in a year from now, we'll see how well we did on the predictions.
You know, through this podcast, just reflecting on the last year of recording, I realized that we are really bad at predictions. So good choice on the name NFA.
Yes.
And with that,
I always like the fact that that's what you needed to figure it out, that we're really bad at it. Wow, that really took you a while. Huh? I already knew that a lot. I knew that a lot sooner, that I was bad at it. You know what's funny? If you do, the World Cup is coming up. We should do the same thing for the World Cup, just do predictions. And then you realize that some octopus, did you see that a couple of years ago? There was an octopus, did better than any football expert, which I thought was so funny, predicting the scores. And it just shows you that no one knows. And then we're not going to really go into that, but have you seen the Bitcoin predictions from the so-called experts, the end of the year price that they gave for this year?
No.
I don't know exactly who said what, but I'm not joking. The majority of people said, you were on a podcast early this year, actually, with some of those people. And I wrote down the predictions. The lowest was 150,000. The lowest.
Yeah.
And we're at 88.
I remember that. I remember predictions going up as high as 500,000, which I thought was a little bit punchy. Wow.
So that was the top range. So you just said everything that I wanted to say. I remember that the lowest was 150, which I believe was you, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And then the highest was 500,000. And then one of them said maybe even 750 or something.
We had based our predictions off of what we saw in 2024, right? And we weren't really wrong because Bitcoin did hit 76 and then 86. And I remember I was sitting in a lecture and I was like, 150, here we go. And then all this other stuff happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But don't believe all those experts that say that based on the graphs and based on the technical analysis, the shoulder is high in the Fibonacci, all the stuff.
No one knows. Literally, no one knows. No one knows unless they're insider trading like Trump's entire crew before he tweets Solana's the best. But no one knows.
I think that's going to be the thumbnail. No one knows. Listen to this podcast. I'm an idiot. No. I bought for the trading competition at 104, and I thought, really, that was a good price. So if you look at it, I'm 20% down. Well, not 20, whatever it is, but 15% down from
now. Now it's at the point where I don't even know. I can't dollar cost average anymore. I can't do it. I'm going to sell a kidney at this point. You know. So here's some interesting tidbits of what went on in 2025 in crypto. So North Korean hackers have stolen over $2 billion in cryptocurrency this year, a 51% increase from last year.
Well, that's interesting news. Okay. You got other news that you have.
So the meme coin volume dropped this month to under $5 billion in trading, which is tiny compared to last year because it was 87 billion in 2024. So that's a drastic change. More US banks have also started preparing for crypto. There's a lot of private credit moving on chain. US banks are preparing for crypto activities, which I'm guessing is more on the RWA side and the real world asset tokenization side. So that's really exciting. Moving on to gaming. Blockchain gaming saw a massive spike in 2025. There was a highest number of wallets active on BNB and Polygon. So really interesting given that blockchain gaming hasn't taken off the way that it has, the way that everyone expected it to. We're still seeing massive surges.
And what is the surge that we're seeing? Is it in unique active wallets? That's the thing that's being measured, the criterion. That is interesting. Yeah. Wow. I didn't know.
I guess now, I mean, other than that, Asia Pacific has become a massive growth hub, which we all knew was coming. So India, Vietnam, Pakistan, all these guys have seen a 69% year-on-year increase on-chain crypto value. So a lot going on there.
Yeah, it is amazing how in Indonesia as well and Vietnam, I don't know about, you know what I don't hear much about? Japan. If you think about it, huge market, but you don't hear much about it. And I still think it's because there's not a lot of coverage about Japan. There must be a lot of activity. I mean, they're so smart, so well educated.
They're starting up now.
Could it be the Japanese are sort of risk averse and don't like gambling as much as, like, let's say the other Asians?
No,
I can say these things without being racist, being Asian. I just want to be clear. Yeah.
There was a hack of that Japanese exchange, right? It was the largest recorded loss of crypto. What was it called? I can't remember.
Neither do I. But and what the North Koreans probably behind it. Although I don't want to shame the North Koreans.
No, it was something like, what was it? Mt. Gox. So Mt. Gox.
I didn't know that Mt. Gox was Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
That was 2014. That's when I was when I got into it.
So they launched in 2010. So Japan's crypto story is quite interesting, right? Because they were one of the leaders when it came to crypto. Mt. Gox was founded in 2010, and it wasn't until like 2015 or something that it was hacked. So everyone lost their crypto. But they're, like you said, Japanese people are more risk averse, and so they just never got back into it.
Well, that's really interesting though about and talking about Solana. So this massive growth in user tips, what is this that you were talking about? There's a Solana massive growth in user tips?
So users can tip in Solana, and it has become a primary revenue source that has surpassed the fees. And get this, the fees are projected to hit 20 billion for 2025.
What is the revenue for Solana?
Yeah.
But Solana is so interesting that thing is that everybody's knocking it. It had a horrible year and still I think it's undervalued, which I don't say often about
I really agree. I really agree with that because Solana has like the potential of BNB, you know, it has the ecosystem, has everything going for it.
Yeah, and real development, real revenue, real fees, even tipping then I guess now, which I think is interesting. Okay. So my news is I thought this was shocking. So in 2025, turns out there was the amount of inflows in Bitcoin ETFs was higher than the amount of money flowing in to gold ETPs. More money went into Bitcoin from TradFi than it went into the gold, which is shocking if you see the total size of the gold market is much bigger than the Bitcoin market, but also, of course, especially the value this year, the price. Gold went up so much and Bitcoin, of course, dropped. So here's the weird part. How is it possible that more money went into Bitcoin than into gold, yet gold went up and Bitcoin went down? It's a mystery.
Because gold is physical.
Okay, but listen, let's forget about the assets. Asset A, more money goes into asset A than into asset B. However, asset A drops, asset B goes up. How?
You're comparing apples to oranges here. Two separate asset classes completely. More people from crypto entered traditional finance through the Bitcoin ETF than traditional finance entered crypto. Did you know that? So the majority of buyers of the Bitcoin ETF already were in crypto. So it ended up being one of the most successful So there's a spokesperson from BlackRock. I can't remember what her name was, but she said that more people had entered traditional finance from crypto versus more traditional finance people entering crypto through the ETF.
Oh my God. You're right. So what they actually then decided to do, people from crypto, was maybe when they invested in more Bitcoin, didn't buy more Bitcoin directly, but went through ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs.
Yes.
Why would you do that? I still do not understand why you buy Bitcoin ETF. To me, it doesn't make sense.
Apparently, it was a cool thing to do. You know, that it was like this new thing that, wow, I can buy Bitcoin on traditional systems. That's what I think. It's the same though, buying digital gold, right? You don't actually hold it. That's why I personally have never bought gold on an ETP or anything. I just like the bricks.
Until you hear my tips for next year. Well, they're not tips. It's what I'm doing. That's a better way to put it. Anyway, so I thought that was an interesting news tidbit. Then the second thing was Meta bought a Chinese startup called Manus. We talked about Manus earlier in the year. It was sort of for like a few weeks, it was like hot. It was a flash in the pan. It was an AI chatbot basically similar to ChatGPT. But Meta nevertheless went out and bought them. And the interesting thing is now, that's really low price. Seriously, for an AI startup with that kind of quality, $2 billion is low. But anyway, would American companies buy more Chinese technology companies instead of what we all thought China was going to compete with the US, but now the American rich companies just buying the Chinese startups? That's an interesting change.
That's really interesting.
And I don't think the Chinese government will be happy with this. So let's say now, for argument's sake, that Amazon wants to buy DeepSeek. Has the money. Would that be able to go through the Chinese official channels? Would it get passed? Maybe by the US? So there's something to follow in 2026. And then, in the same kind of vein, kind of weird, Nvidia, which always had said that it doesn't have any competition, it's got this moat around its technology. Like, it bought for $20 billion a company that was valued at $6 billion only 3 months ago. So it overpaid by 300%. Yeah, it's a really good question. It's called Groq, Groq. And basically, it turns out that these guys were developing a chip that Nvidia actually thinks could have been a competitor. So it's similar to me as when Facebook bought Instagram, which was clearly on the way to get the younger audience and kill on the younger side of Facebook. They have bought a non-exclusive license to the technology. The CEO will join Nvidia. And the former CFO for $20 billion. And the former CFO will become the CEO. Groq could still sell to anyone, except the whole freaking senior team just joined Nvidia. Yeah. And how hard are they going to really try and sell that Groq technology to other companies other than Nvidia? So it's basically for $20 billion, they bought a non-exclusive license, plus the CEO. So it's something that in this regulatory environment under Trump, they will probably get away with. Anyway, so here's my thing to discuss. I would like to discuss this. Why should we buy stocks or crypto if gold went up this year? I have it here, 67%. Bitcoin went down 5.29, and Nvidia, the biggest company in the world, went up 40%. What are we doing with all this crypto stuff and all this stock stuff? Should we just buy gold?
Different asset classes. I would, not financial advice, but you need exposure to different asset classes. And this is just one of those.
Do you, seriously, so I come from tech investing, you come from crypto. Were there many people that you knew that were still buying gold, like to diversify? Because I don't know those people.
Yeah. Well, really? No, I'm Indian. Yeah. They love gold.
That's a good point. I'm Indonesian. They just, whatever savings they have, they put it under the mattress. So, yeah, I still have it.
No.
I still have it.
Indians love gold. We all just love gold. Even every year on New Year's, I buy a little piece of gold.
I remember that. So I was wondering if that's where I was going. My next question was, are you buying gold again tomorrow?
I am. I'll find it tomorrow. I will. I think this is where we'll give financial advice and just say diversify. Like, do not put your eggs in one basket. We saw what happened with all the AI stocks, right? As soon as DeepSeek came around, everything crashed, and to the point where it crashed crypto as well.
Then back to the trading competition. I want to announce a winner. If there is a winner, what did you do? How have you done?
I've held on to Solana, I've held on to Sol for like the last, how long has it been? 3 months?
Well, we started in June, and then I think the last 2 months you haven't traded. So I'm checking out now.
No, I've held it. I've just held Solana. That's it.
You did great. Are you at $149? $149.53.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I have nothing to do with it, yet I'm proud. I'm also really annoyed. I have a magnanimous side, but it's 49.9%.
At least there is some pride in there. Just to recap, in case people are watching this for the first time, I went down to $6. We started at $100. I was a total degenerate with my trading. Went up to like 180. The next hour, I was down to $6. And then I was back up at like 240 and down again to like $30. And then that's when I re-entered the trading competition properly. And yeah, managed to trade my meme coin way back to where I am.
Yeah, and that's why you did so great. So you went up almost 50% in 7 months. We started in early June. Don't ask me why. That's when we thought it was a fun idea. So I actually diversified, but I traded a bunch of times. So I have Broadcom, Bitcoin, TSMC, ASML, Nvidia, AMD, and Palantir. So what you will notice is it has in crypto only Bitcoin. I think that was 15% of the total.
But
listen to this.
Broadcom has done so well.
Yeah, but here's the fun part. From the 7 different things I bought, 5 went down.
No, this can't be real.
5.
My fortune,
just,
my future, it's all
just to give you the idea.
away.
So how can I still end up with a 26.48% gain? I went from $100 to 126.48. Basically because of 2, and this is back to Nish's point of diversifying. Broadcom basically did it because Broadcom I bought at 242.50 and is now at 349.85. 44% increase in 6 months. For the people that think chip makers are overvalued or why they didn't get in, then don't. There are not that many of those in the world at this quality. Now, again, I have to say, not all chip makers. You have to look at the top. It's like in crypto. You don't buy all of them. Those two, Broadcom and Nvidia, basically the AI infrastructure layer, have compensated for all the other crap that I bought. And I still don't think, by the way, crap investments. I think they're great companies. Seriously, all of them. But look at her, that smart face. She's like, yeah, keep talking, loser.
No, all that matters is that you diversified and were still able to make a profit.
So, what do we think of this? Last 5 years, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I was still shocked that Ethereum did so good. But look at Solana. It's incredible.
That's insane.
It's insane. 6,753% if you round it off. Ethereum up 307%. Bitcoin, 174%. So my question to you. So Ethereum is a better investment than Bitcoin?
No.
What do you think?
No, you can't just say that it's a better investment. It's like saying that a meme coin is a better investment than Bitcoin.
And plus, this says nothing about the future, of course, right? It's just this is a snapshot if you would have gotten in 5 years ago, just at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if you got in this year, then it's a very different story.
And here's the hard part: like when you get in is so important, and that's why I did the 5 year and the 1 year. It is so difficult to figure out now going to the future. What do you do now? This is from the last 6 months. So let's say from July. If you did nothing but just bought the Nasdaq Composite Index, you would have gone up 15%. So for me, I always would want to do at least better than that. So luckily I did better. I did 26% and Nasdaq Composite is 15%. But it's because I did a disproportional high percentage in Broadcom and Nvidia. I didn't spread them evenly, right, over the $100, over those 7 investments. So you look at this. If you do nothing, the S&P 500 still does 11% in 6 months. It's an amazing performance. Which leads me to the question: this is so crazy. Historically, if you do 8% on year on average, you're doing great.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the future? Isn't it likely that things are just overvalued like crazy? Because this is just an insane percentage return.
I want to say yes. I feel like things are definitely overvalued. I'm treading with caution with every move that I make. The other day I was helping a friend set up their wallet, and he goes to me, how come your holdings are in USDT? And I was like, I'm not investing. And he goes, no Bitcoin? I was like, just whatever you see here. And he was like, oh, okay.
If Nvidia, ASML, Palantir, Amazon, Bitcoin, Solana, and copper.
Copper. Why?
Because you need copper for all infrastructure cabling. So I still think the whole thing will be an infrastructure layer still, and you need the raw materials.
Sounds like a very long-term hold.
Yeah. And now the big question, of course, is how am I going to how am I going to use the $100 to buy like fragments of this? I mean, I'm not going to spread it evenly. So I will have to put more in the ones where I think the biggest gains will be. So I already know it will still be Nvidia and Broadcom for me. What do you think will be the hottest IPO? Do you have any predictions?
I have a few, but I don't think that I can mention.
You could be an ICO, it could be an IDO, whatever. It could be crypto, right? It's just the initial offering of either a token, a project, or a stock.
I'm not sure. I can't mention. I know 2 companies that are doing an IPO, and they don't have a token or anything anyway, but they are gearing up for it, and it's really exciting. I am very bullish for Kraken. I think Kraken is going to be like deal of the century. I believe they're going public soon.
That's a good point. I also heard that. I think SpaceX is going public next year, and I think it will do incredible. As a Starlink subscriber since 2 days, I was able to hook it up myself, which shows you it's idiot-proof. And it is unbelievable. And that's just one product obviously of SpaceX. But
I think it would be interesting to see Helium go public. I don't think that they're ready yet, but whenever they do go public, I think it's going to be really good.
Why? What is interesting about Helium?
They provide free telco services for the world. So for America, you don't have to pay to use your mobile phone. You don't have to pay for a phone plan anymore.
What's their revenue model? What's their revenue model again?
DePIN. So it's decentralized physical infrastructure. And you just basically plug in this little module, and it collects your excess bandwidth, and it allows you to basically sell it in your area. So T-Mobile and a couple other telcos already use their network to leverage connectivity for their users. So it's really interesting. Okay. The last segment of our podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, just so people have an idea of how good we are at predictions, let's look back at what we did over the last month. So the crypto market cap right now today is 2.99 trillion. It's up from last episode when it was 2.93 trillion. Bitcoin is at 88.56, sort of in that range. Now, you had predicted 88 to 93. Close enough. You had it right. I had 95 to 100. Wrong. We didn't predict Ethereum. Oh, we just predicted Bitcoin.
No, we didn't.
Oh, we forgot.
We did predict the altcoin season index.
Yeah, she just says that because she was closer to it than I am, people. I just want to... That's the kind of person she is. Very competitive. So I predicted it at 25, which is wrong because it is at 20. It's down from last episode, 24. You had predicted?
24.
Wrong, but closer than me. So
barely.
You're better. Fear and greed.
Fear and greed. We both said 22.
Yeah, because you
and
followed
we
mine.
both were wrong because it's at 32.
Okay. let's start with a price prediction for next year. The crypto market cap.
Okay.
Right now, it is at 2.99 trillion. What do you think it's going to be next year? I'm typing it in as we speak.
4 trillion.
I'm at 3.45. I've calculated it as going 15% up. So you're basically saying it's going up 33%, the crypto market. Yeah, if you go from 3 to 4, that's 33%.
Yeah.
Trust me.
You know what? Fine.
Bitcoin, right now at 88. What do you predict for in 1 year?
90.
I was so curious what you were going to say, and so negative. 90. So I say up 20%, so 105. So I think the crypto market will grow more than, no, the Bitcoin. Bitcoin
let's
will
do 95.
Now she's changing it. So weak. 95. So my theory is that Bitcoin will go up a little bit more at 20%, whereas the crypto market will grow 15%. So I still think Bitcoin will outperform the rest. Anyway, you're saying different. You're saying the rest of the crypto market will grow a lot more than Bitcoin.
I think so.
Interesting. Well, we can debate about it or not, but I guess who knows? We're just waiting for it to see.
It's not like we're giving financial advice.
No, exactly. All right. Ethereum is at 29.79. Before you give your answer, I want to say it right. It's at 29.79. It's up from last episode. What do you think next year? Say it again. I gave you an extra
4,200.
You know what I have? 3,000.
Why so negative?
I don't know. I just think it's not going to outperform the market. So seriously, yeah, I really am not that bullish on Ethereum. And then still going to buy some. I know. Just for the diversification. I know it makes no sense.
Just for the shits and giggles.
No, shitting is, yeah.
Can we do Solana as one of these predictions?
Yeah, sure. We can do anything, eh?
So
okay, I'm
right now,
Solana.
Solana is 125.7.
25.7. Okay. What is your prediction?
200.
It's insane. I'm going to say 175. You're very bullish on the other tokens, especially Ethereum. You think Ethereum is going to go up 35%? That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I do.
I hope you're right, because it'd be good for the industry. I mean, that's what I think. Solana as well. But Solana, basically, you're saying is almost going to double. It's like 40% increase.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good on you. Okay, altcoin season index. This is an interesting one because this is our prediction basically for how the other coins are going to go.
50.
Ooh, I say 60. You say 50. Right now, it's at 20. It's just gone down. And Nish is going to say, okay, so it will get better. And the fear and greed index. Okay, I'll go first. I'll say 70. What do you say?
I like 70. I'll do 71.
Okay. Breakout token. What is the breakout token going to be?
It's a Kraken.
Are they going to issue a token?
No.
They don't have a token.
No, they are going public though. Breakout token. Oh, I don't know. Solana.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl's got guts. You got to give it to the girl. Okay. You say breakout token, Sol. I say Tracer because I know what we're developing. So that's our own project.
But that's a good one. I think Tracer is going to have its moment in early 2027. That's my prediction for Tracer.
It's going to have its moment. And then they're like suddenly just gone. No, I think it has to do with the moment that people can see that it's a real world asset, carbon credits, and that when there's transaction over the smart contract, that there's a percentage used for the buy and burn of the Tracer token. I think that's the projects, not just Tracer, but I mean projects that have a connection between a real world asset and a buy and burn, just a connection between the token and the transaction. I think those will do well because people are looking for those kind of, I won't say real projects because I don't think that's fair. There are other projects, of course, that are real that just don't have that connection. So I think how you structure your tokenomics will be more important in 2026. You wrote it down. It's now it's in a Google Doc, so it means everyone has access to it. The U.S. government knows it.
I am interested to see where ASTR goes. I think ASTR is going to be maybe Hyperliquid and ASTR are going to be a good place to watch for early 2026.
All right, I think we covered it all. We did a little bit of a reflection on the year analysis of the current status, and we looked ahead. It looks like it's not going to be boring. At least, this was a crazy year, of course.
Yeah, it really was. And it's never boring in crypto. It's just never.
So my question to you is, do you think next year, final question to you, will it be as weird as this year? With incredible highs and then incredible low? Or will it be more stable?
No, yes, it'll be incredibly weird. Yeah. It's always been this crazy. I can't remember a year where it hasn't been this crazy.
So I am predicting less volatility.
Okay.
I think because of the influx of traditional finance, of TradFi money, I think there'll be a little more, the highs and the lows there will be more stability.
I think that Bitcoin will hit a floor that is a lot higher than what we're used to, because every time it dropped, it was touching 8,000, 13,000. I don't think we're going to get that kind of entry opportunity anymore. But that doesn't take away crypto volatility from the entire market. Bitcoin, yes, it's a bit different. But I think the other altcoins, BNB, Solana, I don't think that they're going to be immune to volatility this year.
Yeah, that also makes sense, actually. Maybe I should change my mind about my prediction. No,
you're welcome.
With it. Okay. And then about your trading competition plans.
Yes.
And that's my question
I don't know
about that. You don't know yet?
I don't know. Maybe my gut will identify something on Pump Fund and I'll put in the full 100. Maybe my gut will say don't do it and go into BNB. Or maybe I will just sit on the Solana. I don't know. Surprise.
I like you. BNB is the one I was thinking about to add to that the list of the cryptos to buy.
Yeah.
For diversification and not only have exposure in Bitcoin. So right now it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and I was actually thinking BNB as the fourth one, or hyperliquid. But maybe I should do. But I just think it's cowardly to have like $5 in something, 5% of your portfolio. Probably makes a lot of sense, but I
mean, you're looking at it like it is $100. You have to zoom out, Yeah,
but my portfolio, if we're realistic, basically got rescued. Not because of crypto, but bailed out because of Nvidia and Broadcom, and having extremely high exposure to those two, which every investor tells you not do. I did because I had more than 20% in each. And that's why I went up 26% over the total. So what's wisdom then?
I believe in you and I believe in your choices.
Well, at least, what I just think is funny? Again, this is also a little bit a lesson in humility. If we would have started at the beginning of the year, the other infrastructure tokens infrastructure assets would have done so much, performed so much better. But they peaked a little bit early. And then when the correction happened in September, they didn't come back up like Broadcom and Nvidia. Yeah. So timing is such an important thing when you do these high risky trades, because it is volatile as hell.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah. Okay.
On that note, well, we hope that you had a lovely 2025, and thanks for listening in. And see you next year. Hey.